Beautiful, bright souls, today the greatest knowledge will be revealed to you, the knowledge of how the truth from God itself comes to earth, and how not to confuse it with the devil's machinations. Only the brightest souls, those who strive for development, for perfection, those who want to know the meaning of life and their destiny, are able to comprehend this knowledge. Only souls that incarnated from angels are able to perceive, realize, and transmit this knowledge. And if you are watching this video now, it means that you are such a bright and pure soul. Perhaps you have experienced in your life that someone does not understand you, does not understand your high aspirations, your desire to realize the meaning of this life, and to do something very significant and important for all people. Perhaps you have been judged. If it is so, know that you are on the right path, because those people who have recently incarnated from animals have a low level of development and are not able to understand high spiritual aspirations. They will always condemn, they will always belittle the one who seeks God. That's the way it has been at all times. It was so with Christ, with Buddha, with Zarathustra, with all great masters. The inferior souls who incarnated from demons always condemned them, stigmatized them, and tried to crucify them. That is why this greatest knowledge that will be revealed to you in this video, only high angelic souls are able to understand. And the inferior souls will always condemn, criticize, and find flaws in it, just to avoid the flow of light that is coming down on you now. Do you feel it? Then right now rub your palms strongly to heat them and direct them to the screen. Feel how now the beneficial influence of angels is descending on you. The highest energy of light for the fulfillment of your destiny, your mission of life, is now descending upon you. Feel this flow. Accept it. Breathe it into your palms, and with an exhale, place your hands on your heart. Feel how your heart fills up with love and power, and imagine the faces of those people whom you want to help, your relatives, close ones, everyone who is dear to you. Perhaps the faces of those whom you don't even know will appear before your eyes. It means that these people are praying for help now, and God, the higher power, wants to manifest through you to give them the energy of support. Breathe in, and with the exhale from your heart, send them a flow of love. Feel how right now the world is being transformed for the better. This is the light and pure energy that has always been carried by the great masters who had incarnated on earth. They carried love. They carried the light of knowledge. Now you feel it in your heart, which means that once in your past lives, you have been a disciple of Christ, Buddha, Sri Aurobindo, and other great masters. Perhaps you feel this connection and long for the highest, don't you? Then, precious ones, you need to learn to discern the true flow of light coming from the source, from that flow which is often distorted by the dark forces. For on our earth there is always a struggle between the forces of light and the forces of darkness. The forces of light strive to turn people to God, to attune them to development, to the desire to help others, and to always move on the path of perfection by their spiritual development and leading people. This is what Christ carried. This is what all the great enlightened masters have carried. So what do the forces of darkness do? They are always trying to defile, denigrate masters. They are always trying to mix their holy knowledge of light with dirt and convince people that they do not need it at all, that those masters do stupid or even sinful things. The traitor always puts on a mask. They try to appear good, to cover themselves up with good reasons, say that they do everything for the good of people and want to save them from the harmful influence of Christ, Buddha. Look at the image of the serpent. It's wearing a suit. It's wearing a tie. It's trying to look just like everyone else. Contrarily, it is trying to express itself, that it is worthy of respect, that it should be listened to. But its essence is similar to a snake, and it has devils behind him. We should remember about it and learn to see the subtle plane, learn to see thoughts, because the person who leads people away from God is a real egoist. This is a person who does everything only for himself, pursuing his own benefit. He doesn't want to help anyone. He wants to justify himself, justify his betrayal of the higher powers, God, Master. That's why he tries to get as many people as possible on his side, because if more people listen to him, it means that he is not alone. And if there are many people, then he is right. So he reinforces his egoism. He reinforces his righteousness in order to not feel pain, remorse for leaving the spiritual path. And the more he gathers people around him, the more he becomes convinced that he is right. But it is all a lie. It is the machinations of dark devils. You should beware of this and protect yourself and all those who are dear to you. The guides sent by God to earth always bring light with them. But this knowledge is immediately distorted as soon as the dark forces take possession of it. They try to portray themselves as bright, full of energy, strength, love to people, but their judgment, their criticism, their frowning and gloomy face always tells us that demons are manifesting through them. Look now at this illustration. Do you see it, beloved ones? This is a picture of the subtle plane. Now you will see what is happening in the subtle plane. You will recognize the conspiracy of the dark forces. Remember that there are angels behind your back, and they are protecting you. What you are learning is necessary to save people from the lies, ignorance, and deception that the dark forces are spreading throughout the world. Look now at this illustration. In the center, you see a serpent in human form. He chains the hearts of people, attracting them, manipulating them, trying to pass on his lies as truth and knowledge. This serpent is ruled by the devil. Behind his back, you see dark forces. It is they who control person, forcing him to manipulate the light thoughts of people, striving for development. Look very carefully. A huge number of devils with scissors cut off the connections with the highest, with the angels of light. You see these thin threads going from each person upwards, But these threads are cut off by devils as soon as a person succumbs to the influence of the dark ones, their lies and manipulation. This is what happens in the subtle plane when a student who has left a master of light starts to blaspheme and condemn him and tries to lure other people, students striving for the light, to his side, tries to prove to them that the master is sinful, that the master is doing evil. He condemns the master in every possible way because he himself is afraid of what will happen to him. He himself goes the sinful way, and in order not to recognize his weakness, that he could not move along the spiritual path, could not follow the spiritual master, could not develop spiritually, he condemns his master. He condemns the knowledge. And at the same time, he himself passes it on to other people, distorting it in every possible way, and no longer leads people to the light, but leads them to hell, cutting off the path to God. All great teachers have always had traitors. Christ had Judas. Buddha had traitors. They were the closest disciples who betrayed and said that the master was wrong, that it's not necessary to listen to him, and that he, the serpent in human form, knows the truth and veracity. This is a terrible trick of dark forces, which not everyone is able to unravel. And trusting, open-minded people who are not able to feel the truth and veracity can go along with these dark forces. They always attack, first of all, souls of light, aspiring to knowledge, who want to know the truth because they are afraid that too many people will come to God, and then the forces of light will triumph on earth, and there will be no place for darkness. This is why the dark ones, first of all, try to disconnect a person from the light, because as soon as he disconnects from God, begins to blaspheme him, feels injustice, begins to criticize, condemn, the person immediately loses the support and power of angels. He loses protection. And then it is very easy to influence him because he remains without support, without protection. After all, the dark cannot defeat the masters of light in a direct battle. They are God's messengers on earth with immense power and the support of angels. They cannot overpower them in a direct battle, so they always try to vilify them and to disconnect the disciples from the egregore of light in order to stop them one by one, not allowing them to follow the path of light. Precious ones, now you are watching this video listening. You are looking at these magical illustrations, and you are receiving an incredible, powerful protection from the light powers. Right now, you are wearing a dome of protection from the influence of the dark ones. In order to strengthen it, take your amulet of power, acquired at our seminars or classes, or put your palms on your heart, press them against your chest, and feel how behind your back, angels, warriors of light, spreading their wings, create a powerful protection from all the dark ones. Feel it. Imagine your relatives and friends on your inner screen. Now realize that you are a conductor of the powers of light on earth, that you are under the protection of angels, and extend this protection to everyone who is dear to you. Extend this protection to everyone to whom you wish happiness, love, and prosperity. Remember now those people whom you want to help. Perhaps someone has already fallen under the power of dark forces. It is very easy to identify such person. The first sign is a gloomy expression on the face. A person begins to condemn everything. He experiences negative emotions. If you see such a person in the field, be sure to tell your tutor and guide of light. Be sure to ask for help, because it means that the person is under the influence of the dark ones, but you can save them. Maybe you feel this influence on yourself, then it needs to be reset immediately. Practice the kata of fury, an energy practice, breaking this sand's contact with the dark ones. You can do it right now. Take a deep breath in and hold it as long as possible. Hold the breath as long as possible, tensing your whole body, breaking all sand's contacts with the lowly, dark, unnecessary, with all weaknesses, breaking all sand's contacts and unnecessary connections that stop you on the way to the light. Hold. Hold the breath. Hold it, and then with a sharp exhale, drop all the negative, getting rid of it once and for all. If you feel a release or feel the need to do this practice again, do it. At the bottom of the description, I will leave you a link to the powerful practice called Kata of Fury that will help you get rid of all negative influences. Remember that spiritual practices will help you to always be filled with light energy and gain the protection and support of angels. The course of spiritual practices now is a gift for you. I leave a link in the description of this video. You can find a huge amount of spiritual practices on our channel. Be sure to subscribe. Share the links to these channels with all people. Invite them to subscribe. Click on the bell not to miss new videos, because we regularly release a huge number of powerful energy techniques, spiritual practices that you will not find anywhere on the internet. Be sure to check all our updates, and on the YouTube channel, watch the spiritual cartoon Life After Life, shamanic cartoon, and many other spiritual practices. Let them fill your soul, because only spiritual practices, the tuning to the highest, will help you always to stay under the protection of the light powers. Right now, feel how the help and support of the angels of light is descending upon you. Once again, rub your palms strongly to heat them. Direct them to the screen, and chanting the sound of the birth of the universe, the mighty and great Aum, feel how the flow of light from all good spirits, from angels, is directed to you. Breathe in. The blessing of the powers of light and the enlightened great masters be with you. Precious ones, always tune in to the highest wave and try to see everything with the eyes of God. Let it be so.